It's now time for Remember When with Uncle John. John Guess, Ouachita County's resident storyteller and local historian. Sit back now and enjoy a walk down memory lane as John recalls the days of yesteryear in his own unique way. You never know, some of it might even be true. So here's Uncle John, along with his trusty sidekick, Kelly Blair.
Back on Remember When with Uncle John, where here we are at the midweek point. That means it is Wassailing Wednesday around here on the Remember When with Uncle John show. Who you want to talk about today, John?
Man, we got us a famous woman wrestler today.
A famous woman wrestler.
Miss Candace Marie Rummel, which is better known as Candi Devine.
I was going to say, I didn't recognize that first name.
Candi Devine, born January 1st, 1958, Nashville, Tennessee. She got in the wrestling business by being the president of the Lanny Poffo fan club.
How about that?
Lanny Poffo having a fan club.
She liked poetry, huh?
I guess so. Yeah,
she was probably president, vice president, secretary. I'm sorry, I'm bagging on Lanny here.
She was nicknamed Fang Face because she had bucked.
Mercy gracious.
Probably eat a tomato through a tennis racket.
Oh, come on now. Don't say that.
Probably eat apple pie through a chain link fence, you know. But she was 4 times AWA women's champ, which is when I remember, you know, in the late 80s, you know, the AWA was on ESPN.
Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And she was 4 times AWA champion. And I remember, she good looking little gal too, man, you know.
Right there when Wendy Richter and all those were coming through.
Yes, the whole bunch, you know.
Medusa Michele.
She debuted in 1980. You know, she was a...
well, she got there just in the nick of time.
She did. She was a pretty tough customer, you know, and was come along during the what a lot of them call the golden age of TV wrestling, you know, and I just remember her being on the AWA, in the AWA and on TV every week. I can't remember that announcer's name, you know. I can't remember his name, but he was a good one. But, you know, he was real famous for getting DWIs. He got 3 or 4 DWIs, you know.
We wouldn't be talking about Larry Nelson, would we?
That's who it is, Larry Nelson, you know. Real famous, you know. He'd go out to the hospitality room and didn't leave in time, you know. But
Larry Nelson might be the reason why Eric Bischoff made it in the business like he did, because he had to replace Larry after he had a little incident, you know, while driving.
But I can still hear him right now saying, "Here's Miss Candi Devine," you know.
There you go.
But, you know, later on she was defeated by Rockin' Robin to become the WWF Women's Champ.
Oh, look at there.
You know, and the UWF, I'm sorry. The UWF Women's Champ in 1991 after the AWA folded. But she was a pretty good-looking old gal, like I said, you know, but I guess I do remember the buck teeth.
Oh, man.
But, you know,
you can't remember the blonde hair. You can't remember the shapely figure or anything like that.
Yeah, you know.
It's all about that smile, huh?
I'm telling you, you know, I can't help it, you know. Eat a tomato through a tennis racket.
Oh, golly.
But she was you know, she retired in 1998, and she passed away in February of 2022, this year, at age 63. She had a collapsed lung, and she had a spine injury.
Oh, man.
Spinal injury from her days in the ring that she never, you know, really got over. And she had a lot of health problems later in life, but I remember, like I said, I remember watching every week, you know, the AWA on ESPN. That was a big deal.
That was a very big deal.
That predated, you know, the WWF and the USA Network and all that. And I just remember watching her every week, and, you know, she was something to look at.
And what a name, Candi Devine.
Candi Devine. I mean,
somebody ought to have that name right now.
They ought to have that right now. That is a great name right there. That's a great ring name.
No question about it. Well, hey, that's going to wrap up Remember When with Uncle John here for today. But we do want to thank our great sponsors, including ProMed Ambulance Service.
Give them a call, 1-800-634-0436. Get signed up.
Also, Sherwin-Williams House Paint, 315 Jefferson Street, right here in Camden. Greg Bradshaw and his whole staff can hook you up, interior or exterior house paint. Give them a shout at 836-8125.
And our good friend J.J. Lindsay down at the Shopper's Guide. Go down and see J.J. for all your printing needs, stationery, business cards, no trespassing, posted signs, whatever you need. Go down and see JJ, and he'll fix you up.
All that kind of good stuff, man. Also, don't forget, you can also listen to our podcast if you want to go back and listen to us talk about Candi Devine all over again. Apple Podcasts, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Google Podcasts, YouTube, or you can even find us on Facebook with the Yes Radio Works site. I guess we will see you tomorrow, John.
See you tomorrow, Kelly.
You've been listening to Remember When with Uncle John on Y95. This broadcast can be heard each weekday morning at 6:45 on South Arkansas's favorite station, Y95.